Hello, I'm Marcus Boston. Quick video today, and we're going to talk about settlement in birth injury cases. So now the question is, do both birth injury cases, do they go to court and then a jury decides the case, or a fact finder, or do a lot of them settle? And if they do settle, why might that be the case? All right, so before I get too far into this video, I want to make sure that you understand that I'm shooting this video from my perspective and what I've experienced as a birth trauma attorney handling these cases. And so the short answer is that yes, a lot of these cases, they do settle in my experience. And I think the reason being is because once the right type of case is picked and it's moving through the system, there's a lot of risk on both sides with these cases. There's risks for the individuals who are bringing the case, because a jury verdict is not a guarantee. There's never a guarantee that you are going to win these cases. That no attorney can make that guarantee. We can put the case together as best as we can, but there is never a guarantee on either side. That's for the plaintiff, the person bringing the case, or for the defendant. So there is substantial risk on both sides. That's one reason I think is why these cases do tend to settle. Another thing about settlement, which I think a lot of times is not discussed and not talked about, is that when we are mediating these cases, because what ends up happening is in a lot of instances, we have to go to what we call mediation. And the reason why I think that mediation can be important is because it allows both sides to figure out what they feel the value of the case is. Remember, when you have a jury trial, those individuals in that box, they are going to be the ones who are going to decide the critical issues in the case. They are going to be the ones to decide the value of the case. When you go through mediation, both sides will do a mediation statement. Both sides will be able to discuss the strengths and weaknesses of their cases, and both sides will be able to get in and try to hammer down an agreement if an agreement can be reached. So that is one serious benefit when it comes to mediation and settlement. And in a lot of instances, I do stress to my clients that, look, we want to take these mediations, we want to take these settlement negotiations, we want to be serious with these things because they give us an opportunity to say what we think the value of the case is. And of course, you're going to, all your homework and your back end work, prepping the case and all of that will come into play. But again, we want to always take mediation and settlement, we want to take them serious. So the purpose of today's video was to just help you understand this process, because a lot of times we do have families, they do ask us, well, do you think this case is going to settle? Do you think it's going to go to trial? What do you think? We prep all of these cases as if they are going to go to trial, and we are going to have to go to a jury verdict. We prep them all for that. And that is just a prudent way to do it. But the reality is that in a lot of cases, not everyone, but in a lot of cases, both sides will be able to try to find a common ground somewhere. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. If you have more questions of me, if you would like to speak with me about what's going on with your child, maybe you're here because your baby has suffered an injury at birth, maybe your baby has an HIE diagnosis, and you have questions, you're trying to think it through, you're trying to say, well, should you file a lawsuit? What should you do? Should you wait to see if the baby gets better? Or maybe you're here because your baby has a CP diagnosis, cerebral palsy, you've got questions about that, future challenges, maybe all of these things are going on in your mind. There's a telephone number down below. Go ahead and pick up that phone and call me. We can talk about it. This is what I do, this is what we do. One other thing before I leave, you gotta understand that I practice law here in the state. Well, I practice law, I'm not in Maryland right now, but I practice law in Maryland. And if you contact me and you're not in Maryland, you just have to understand that we have to use what we call co-counsel or local counsel, that is an attorney in your state, to help push the case forward. So I just want to make sure that you understand that co-counsel or local counsel aspect of things. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston. I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group LLC. And we will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.